I'm born in a million. I wanna rise in the ceiling, yes I do. I think it's time to see a brand new menu. I said I'm born in a million. I'm born in a million. Brand new horizon, the world's in my hands and the sun's tantalizing. Grab hold of mine if you want some good time, and it's been too long and you need some unwinding. Woo! Shake it low, the new sound has been found, and yo, I don't know where you've been torn, but I ain't gonna stop till I break the mold. You see, I'm born in a million. I wanna rise in the ceiling, yes I do. I think it's time to see a brand.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started.
And we are underway here in Los Angeles.
And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play and 2nd down. Another run for Gibbs here.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
To throw, it's Allen. That throw taken in by Jameson Williams. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here comes the Lions punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At the 33-yard line.
Now a run. It's the rookie from Nebraska. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense.
Now they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
Muscling free near the 40. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
Well, he's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they're certainly playing their best football of the year.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Allen going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
You talk about the defense for these Chargers.
They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now 3rd down and very long.
Throwing now is Allen. He's got it to Williams. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the...
The Charger drive about to get going. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs.
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room.
62 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
With that run, double check my math, yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Now Allen.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hand off to Gibbs, headed right here.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Allen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Josh Allen. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun, Herbert on third down. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And just shedding him off there. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. He'll take this to the 46.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. On play action, Allen. And Walker has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Gibbs straight ahead. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. About 3 yards there to the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third and 5. Allen now looks to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Caught by Turner. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Here now, 3rd and a yard. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Here's a give up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Well, that's one stuff. We'll see if this defense has another in their back pocket.
And I just wonder on the other side of the ball, do you just challenge the big guys up front? This is short yardage situation. We ought to be able to pick this up. Or do you say to yourself, they are awfully tough. I've got to throw it on this down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guaranteeing you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The final shot before the break for Herbert. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Turner. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there as time expires in the first half. And the Chargers get a late touchdown here on the final play of the first half. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline. Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
2nd down and 4.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Herbert now. This is intercepted. It's Brian Branch with him. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Now a give to Gibbs, running left.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Gibbs will try it.
Now the ball comes loose.
And it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the 2nd half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the 2nd half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
65 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Right back to him on 1st down.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's caught by Hollister. Runs over it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's got it. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Chargers have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And the lead is now 14-10.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And this is where coaches sometimes fall into different camps. Your guy just fumbled. It led to a touchdown. Do you stay with him, or do you put him in the doghouse? This is definitely a show of confidence here, as he's right back out there and carrying the ball again.
St. Brown motioning left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 106 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Herbert. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. On Herbert, his third interception. And the Lions are right back in this football game. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last two games. Cassidy, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Now Allen. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The Lions on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Allen to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Second down and a yard.
Herbert off of play action. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Lions are right back in this football game.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And slow going there as they'll only get a yard, maybe up to the 41. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Here's Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this call a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To the air, Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Allen, gotta have this one.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted.
And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire.
To throw is Allen.
Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Allen. He's got it complete to Gibbs.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now Allen.
Got his man. It's Williams.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here's second down and 3. Throwing, Allen. Trying the left side with Gibbs.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
What a way to wrap up the week. Now a big play. It's third down. Here's Allen. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's fourth down.
They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half of the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Los Angeles,
the final 3 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.